Empty poo cup. Empty poo cup. All right. It sounded better in my head than it came out. Yeah, okay, so empty poo cup. All right. Welcome to another adventure in Disney the Noble Way. A question was posed to me, and so I thought, hey, make an awesome blog post of best ways of getting to the park. As we all know, or as most of us know, there are tons and tons of hotels and motels in the area surrounding the Disneyland Resort. There are the resort hotels, and then there's a bunch of what they call good neighbor hotels that are all encompassing the entire resort for many, many blocks. Some of them go out all the way to Knott's Berry Farm and things like that, because actually they're very close parks. So how do you get into the resort? Well, for those of you who haven't gone to the resort in many, many years, and I mean like in the last 20, or okay, let's be fair, last 14 years. Prior to California Adventure, it used to be very simple. Yes, there were buses, yes, there were shuttles and things like that, but there was also a beautiful, large parking lot directly in front of Disneyland where California now sits. And you could park there and walk 5 feet, and then boom, you're at the ticket booth and walking in Disneyland. You could literally step out of your car, see the monorail, the train, the main gate, everything. Not that way anymore. In fact, without, like if you can sometimes see from Harbor Boulevard tops of buildings and stuff like Space Mountain and things like that, but you can't really see much of anything. You can't see the ticket booths. You can't see any of that stuff from the street anymore. It is completely surrounded by beautiful green foliage of bushes and things like that are very well kept and everything. But it's kind of like a little fortress and stuff, and I like it because it makes you feel like you kind of enter, your own little land. It's there, you can't hear or see anything outside of those walls. It's pretty crazy. But so how do you get in, and how do you get to and from the park? So there are several options. There is a parking structure and adjacent parking lots at Disneyland still. They've just been moved and repurposed. There is shuttle buses, a couple different types. And then, of course, there's walking. So we'll talk about, prices and things like that. So probably the most convenient way of entering the park would be through the resort hotels, which are on the resort property to the very left. If you're looking at an aerial shot like on Google Earth, they are to the immediate left of both parks. There is the Disneyland Hotel, which is the original. There's Paradise Pier and the Grand Californian. All at different price points and all conveniently located. The Grand Californian is probably the most expensive, but it also is the most convenient because you can literally walk out of the hotel and into California Adventure, right into the park. Nothing in between. It's hotel, park, boom. The Disneyland Hotel is probably the middle priced one. Maria and I have stayed there before, and you can literally walk outside your hotel, you walk about 100 feet, and you're at the monorail station, right at the end of downtown Disney District. You can get on the monorail, it takes you right into Tomorrowland, which is pretty cool. So hardly any walking there. Paradise Pier is the better value of the Disneyland Resort hotels, and you do have to walk a little bit. Kind of got to walk past the Pinocchio parking area, and I think it's Simba or something, parking, and then you kind of enter where you would walk if you were staying at the Disneyland Hotel, that same little walkway to get to the monorail. So it's a little bit more of a walk, but that's good for walking. Outside of the park, there are tons of hotels that are within walking distance, and based on your own personal stamina, I mean, go for it. If you want to go free and not have to worry about parking fees and buses and all that stuff, go for it. There are a lot of hotels right there on the main strip of Harbor Boulevard within a block of Disneyland that you could easily walk. A lot of people do it. And me personally, and it has nothing to do with like my weight or anything, because my legs are as strong as they come. But for me, I don't want to walk all the way to the park, be at the park all day. And I mean, if you're there like during the summer or one of their prime hours, you're there from 8 a.m. until midnight. That's a lot of walking, a lot of time at Disneyland. And the last thing you want to do is walk all the way there, and then at the end of your day at midnight, when you're done and you're beat, tired, and exhausted, have to walk all the way back to your hotel. So it is free. It is an option. It is doable. They have little walk paths and stuff to get into the resort and stuff. But yeah, that's my personal opinion. So then there is buses. If you stay at a hotel that offers complimentary shuttle service to and from the park, that's great. Take advantage of that. Most hotels that offer that are not going to charge you for it. It's just part of the services you get, and they will take you right to the park. There's also the ART, which is the Anaheim Regional Transit buses. They pick up every 20 to 30 minutes and drop off every 20 to 30 minutes, basically at every single hotel, motel, or within that general vicinity. Like if there's a cluster of 3 hotels, it will stop at one of them, and you walk to them. But generally, it drops off like every 100, 200 feet. There's a hotel, boom, and a stop, and it drops off. They have elevator lifts if you need, if you have accessibility needs or in a wheelchair. So they're really great. They're air conditioned. They're really nice buses, and they're pretty affordable. I think for an adult, it's like $5 for a day, and it's good all day. You can hop on, hop off, whatever. Go back to your hotel midday for a nap, whatever, and it's still the same price all day. And your ticket's good for 24 hours. And then they have 3-day, 5-day, a week passes, and then the price goes up. I think the 3 days like $12. Kids' prices are usually like $2 to $3. They're really, really cheap. I did the ART buses for a long time. They're great. The only thing I don't like about them is I don't like to wait. I do not like to wait. I am excited, and I want to get in the park, and I want to go on Star Tours. So that's my thing. But they are very affordable, and if you're going to be there for a long time, it beats parking. So that leads me to the other convenient but expensive method is Disneyland parking. Disneyland houses one of the world's biggest, I don't know if it's the biggest, but it is one of the world's biggest parking structures. It's like 4 stories tall, and it is humongous. I mean, if you look at it from an aerial map, it is as big as one of the lands of Disneyland. Like if you were to cut out all of Tomorrowland and then maybe part of Fantasyland, that's how big this parking structure is. It's humongous. So that right there, and then there's adjacent parking lots outside of that, and then there is an auxiliary parking lot by Harbor and Catella, which is the same price, and you park over there like during the summer when it's really busy and they're all full over there. And then they have a shuttle that will pick you up and take you into the resort. That usually is about running $16, $17, $18 in those price ranges. Depending on the season and the time of year, the prices tend to change, but it's right there around, let's just say $16, $17 to be fair. And that's good all day. That you can park your car and then go to the park, and there is a convenient Disneyland shuttle that takes you, a tram that takes you to the resort and drops you off right there at downtown Disney, so you can walk right into the park. But it is $17 for the day. There are exceptions to that. If you're a AAA member and you bring your AAA membership card, you can get free parking. I think if you are AARP, you get free parking. The only drawback to that is I think it's only good like one time. So if you go in the morning and you leave and then you come back, your pass is no longer valid. You have to buy an actual parking pass at that point. So keep that in mind if you're going and you're a AAA member. If you're an annual pass holder and you have a premium pass, you get free parking all day. Doesn't matter how many times you leave, come and go, whatever. You get free parking. So that is one of the perks of having the premium pass. Maria and I have that. We love it. But those are the different ways to get into the park, and they're very convenient, and they're all differently priced. But if you're going to the park and you're trying to figure out, that into your equation of costs, those are the options you would look into. So if you're staying at a close hotel, just walk. Don't worry about, paying for parking. If you're staying a little bit further away and getting a little bit cheaper rate on the room, you might want to look into the ART and see if they service that hotel and how many days you're staying, and look at what prices you need, what price that is. You can buy your tickets at most of the hotels at check-in. They usually sell them at the desk, or they have a kiosk. They do also sell them on the buses for cash only. You can also buy your pass online and print out your ticket. You can also buy them at Disneyland. So if you get off and you need to go to a kiosk and get a new pass or whatever, you can get them there too. So there are different ways to get those passes. So, but make sure you're looking into the parking and the best way of getting into the park that's convenient for you. You might get free parking, like I said, if you're a AAA member. You might find that the ART is better, or you may just want to say, "Hey, screw it, I'm going for the full thing. $17 a day doesn't bother me. Let's go park at the parking structure." So, but those are the options, and worth looking into. The prices will change, so make sure you're checking up on these sites. And if you have any questions, I can look into it for you as well. Post your questions in the comments section, and there you go. Have a good day.